Financial independence is crucial for women in today's world because you need your own money. You need to be able to take care of yourself, and that's a general rule and a general law for everybody, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. You need your own money, because what happens when you depend on someone, that person controls what you do. For instance, you're a child in your parents' house now. Whatever your parents say is what goes, because when you want to say, I don't want like this, mommy, daddy, they'll say, I am the one that's paying for you your food, I'm the one that's putting a roof over your head, you don't give me back. Yeah, you don't have a say, because whatever they say goes. So as a woman, you should be able to make your own money so you can make your own choices and make your own decisions.
It will help women make better choices in terms of relationships, for instance. If you're being influenced by perhaps you're the type that is not independent financially, you're gonna tilt more towards making choices that will probably favor you in that regard. So for instance, a young lady who wants to get married and is not completely independent financially would be wanting to settle down with someone who has money, despite the source of their income, despite the character. So it doesn't allow you have that freedom of choice, So you are limited in choices.
I think peace of mind. If you have your money, the kind of peace you experience, the kind of peace that comes with it, the happiness. In fact, you'll be healthy. Even if you are going through, you're struggling, you will still be healthy, because when you have that money, like
you're just calm.
You're just calm. Okay, that peace is there. And as well, decision making. You can decide what you want to do.
Hi, I'm Ahitabel.
Hi, I'm Emaidio.
And hi, I'm MM.
And welcome to Truth in Bikini.
Podcast where we strip down life's toughest issues to its core truth.
Well, at least the ones affecting the women.
And today we'll be talking about this topic you wouldn't want to miss. And this is Strong on Your Own, the power of female financial independence.
Yes.
So, before we ask these questions, I want us to understand financial dependence and financial independence. So financial dependence, this means when you rely solely or heavily on someone else's money to take care of your own needs. Whereas financial independence means when you can take care of your own self using your own money. You don't have to rely on any other person but your money. You work hard for it and you have it. So that's those two differences. And then I'll need to ask this question. Why is financial independence crucial for women in today's world?
Okay, so financial independence is crucial for women in today's world because you need your own money. You need to be able to take care of yourself. And that's a general rule and a general law for everybody, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. You need your own money. Because what happens when you depend on someone, that person controls what you do. For instance, you're a child in your parents' house now. Whatever your parents say is what goes. Because when you want to say, I don't want like this, mommy, daddy, they'll say, I am the one that's paying for you your food, I'm the one that's putting a roof over your head, give me back. Yeah, you don't have a say, because whatever they say goes. So as a woman, you should be able to make your own money so you can make your own choices and make your own decisions. So that's my own.
I also think that financial independence is crucial because it will help women make better choices in terms of relationships, for instance. If you're being influenced by perhaps you're the type that is not independent financially, you're gonna tilt more towards making choices that will probably favor you in that regard. So for instance, a young lady who wants to get married and is not completely independent financially would be wanting to settle down with someone who has money, despite the source of their income, despite the character. So it doesn't allow you have that freedom of choice, So you are limited in choices.
I think peace of mind. If you have your money, the kind of peace you experience, the kind of peace that comes with it, the happiness. In fact, you'll be healthy. Even if you are going through, you're struggling, you will still be healthy because when you have that money, like
You're just calm.
you're just calm. Okay, that peace is there. And as well, decision making. You can decide what you want to do. You don't have to ask from anybody. You don't need anybody's approval. You just do your thing. You can decide, like, even if you want to learn something, maybe this
in terms of
you can
career,
your money and then you learn it at ease. But when you are dependent on someone and that person said, no way, you will go back inside and sit down because...
I was going to say that as well. In terms of personal growth, investment in your personal growth and career choices, I think that being independent to an extent gives you that leverage, So I graduated as a marine chemist. But afterwards, I realized that I actually had a thing for mathematics, business, and economics. So I can decide to go for a second degree in economics. I can also decide to do mathematics afterwards, So having your finances settled to an extent allows you to explore all of the options available.
So, like you said before, you were saying something about, depending on a guy for money will
making quality choices.
Will make you fall into a relationship that you probably don't like or you don't want. There are so many people currently that are literally just dating someone that they don't really like, that they can barely tolerate because this person is making me comfortable financially. Like, this guy is insulting you, beating you, making you feel like shit, but you're staying because if you leave him, you don't have any choice.
Money, you
don't have any choice. So
money.
It's like, and it's quite frustrating. And the annoying thing with people like that is that they don't really want to stop that lifestyle. And when they do like that, when this guy can't give them enough money for their needs, they go to another guy. And they go to another guy. And before you know it, they're homie hopping, they're carrying STIs. It's crazy.
It's crazy,
and
sincerely.
That if you have this money, that's a safe exit for you, especially in abusive relationships. When you have your money, it will be very easy for you to leave. But when the money is not there, anything you see, you endure because where will you go to? But when you have that money, and this guy does it the first time, you overlook. The second time, just say, I'm tired.
I think that, like we said about the choice of relationships, for instance, you're well-to-do, you're okay. Of course, the man you're in a relationship with already knows that you're doing well. So there's this consideration that comes with a woman who is doing well. A man has this special consideration for a woman who is doing well financially. It doesn't...
those that have it going in their head, that even if they know this woman is doing well...
I'm telling you from experience.
Yeah, normally.
When you weigh it 90 out of 100 times, you find that men are more considerate with a woman that is financially... No man wants a woman that is always like, every second, everything, you are the one taking care of it. It doesn't make any sense, So, all right. So let's go to the next question.
The next question, okay. How does financial dependence keep women trapped in unhealthy relationships or situations?
Well, I think if they share resources together, because when a woman is dependent on a guy, she might likely share almost everything with this guy. And then if you want to leave, where would you go to? You are trapped, especially if you don't have the money. Because there are some women, they share mostly, let's say, even cars, understand, house. They will just go and live with a guy, understand? They don't even have a house of their own.
Yeah.
So when you're financially dependent, you don't have anywhere to go. You are trapped. So irrespective of what that guy does, it's just useless. You will just condone them because I don't have any other place to go. I can't make this money myself. But when you have the money and this guy does something like this, you would have to move out. But when it's not there,
I think that's where women have there's this fear of survival. If even in domestic violence situation, you see a lot of women trapped in such situations with children, and you think that, ordinarily someone hits you today, tomorrow it hits you again, and then it does it like a routine. And then you think that the common thing to do would be, okay, carry your things and leave now so that you can live, at least be alive, But you see them and they'll be like, I can't go anywhere because where do I start from? How do I survive?
Because
after leaving here. So
they just leave it.
There's that fear. How do I survive after leaving here? And most of them don't even have families who can actually help them, And so they are trapped in such situations.
Yeah. And like you said in this thing, a lot of people they can't even leave because they're kind of psychologically stuck in a situation of dependence. If you never prep yourself to separate from depending on other people, that's how you can depend on a guy and be so comfortable, or depend on your parents and be so comfortable that you're not even driven to even seek something outside.
You're right about that.
You're right about that. And when and then, like I said, financial dependence leads you to be trapped in a situation where you don't even seek that independence. Like you just say, I'll start this, I'll do this. But what ends up happening is that you date someone, you go to the next person, or maybe you're depending on your friends. It's like, because it's the easy way out.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's the easy way out. So, when you're financially dependent, it leads you to be trapped in a situation of never seeking that freedom and that liberation from depending on people's money.
And there's this there's the aspect of control and manipulation. Financially dependent women, since you can't really make that. I think I saw a post and someone was asking men, what's the worst thing you've ever done to your woman, when you were angry? And this man went and commented, he said he didn't subscribe DSTV for a month. And that made the wife not watch most of our soap operas and the rest. And she was really sad and he was happy. And I was like, say it again, how much is DSTV? How much is DSTV that became something that you can use to trap someone, And so there's that manipulation, that object of control, there's control, there's manipulation, because you just use every little thing against the person, And so that woman is just trapped. She's just trapped because everything is being used against you. You can't get out of it.
I want to drop this for every woman out there that is being trapped under a relationship that is abusive because she's financially dependent. Is that you are stronger than you seem, you are braver than you believe, and then you are also smarter than you think. So please stand up. Go and look for something doing. Because imagine not subscribing DSTV and then you are just there like that. No way out. How much? So my baby lock the kitchen and say, Auntie, my
there's
kitchen.
someone who told me, I don't even know what we were talking about. And then he went, was angry with his wife, and then left the house. I said, okay, so I just thought you left the house, so what? And he said, yes, but he left the house and they had to start begging him because he's the one that keeps the money. He's the one that keeps the house funds. And so I was like, oh God. So he left the house because he was angry. So he left the house, left the children, left the wife hungry, and then, of course, they'll have to beg. So that's just the thing, that limited control over a situation, because you cannot really, really have your grasp on your finances,
It makes you even lose your value.
Of course.
Because the man will not even value you. After, even if it's soap, you should be the one to ask from me.
Yeah.
So that's when they'll ask you, what does she bring to the table?
I would want to ask, now, as you come here, what are some common misconceptions about women earning their own money? It's like there's a thing about women earning their own money. Some people will say a woman who earns her money becomes too proud.
Yeah.
Or too difficult to handle,
Or they'll say like something like there's a power imbalance. Yeah. And when someone says that this thing like, a woman has money or has more money than her man, to now make her control
the man.
It's not like, so what, you want to be the one to control her? Like, people that say that this thing are people that know themselves in those types of situations. It's like, if you marry someone or you get into a relationship with someone, it should be someone that you trust in all types of situations.
All situations.
You know, it just goes to show how broken relationship dynamics are in this generation and in this age.
Truly.
And for a long time, it's been broken. It's just, maybe we are starting to heal small now.
Yeah.
But like, it just goes to show that, like, and it's a thing of pride, the thing of ego, and they just want that situation where they don't want to feel smaller.
Yeah.
So they now kind of write off women that are making money and look for someone that doesn't have that much money. So they have that control over the person, and that person is dependent on them. Like the DSTV situation now.
Yeah.
Now, whatever she did, she don't want to do it again.
Yeah. He even said that he actually changed. She changed because of that.
And it's like, that's not how relationships should work. It's like, if she's done something wrong that you don't like, you sit down, you communicate. And if she's difficult about it, maybe you guys were not meant to be together.
Yeah.
You don't need to go through all these cheap tricks, and like, do not marry someone that you have to do all those corner, cut, emotional manipulation. Like, ew, it's disgusting.
Some even say the woman earn more. She tends to be lazy. Especially when you're lazy, especially when it comes to house chores.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So she would have to bring in maids. She wouldn't want to do anything because she's feeling she's a queen now. Understand?
You know what I always say? I used to say, I just used to say, I tell myself, I say, once I start making good money, one of the first things I'll stop doing is cooking and going to the market.
Yeah.
Yes. Once I start making good money, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'll stop going to the market. I'll stop cooking. Not like I won't cook once in a while, but then I have cooked now.
But
I have cooked now.
And just take that break, honestly.
Yes.
You should, because honestly, my mom used to pay for me, like, when we were much younger, because there were 3 of us in the beginning, now we are 5. When we were much younger, my mom would pay, like, she doesn't even waste time. And my mom is financially independent. So my dad is not the type to say, bring a maid. My dad does not really like that. But my mom, she's working, she's doing a whole lot, and there needs to be someone to do something. So all these years, she's been paying for the maid. Imagine it was a situation where she was now dependent on my dad.
So your dad will say, I don't want
to pay.
She can't get it. Yeah, because she's not the one paying for it.
Yeah, you need to be able to protect yourself, protect your peace. My mom, when she wants clothes, she'll buy it. If she wants something for somebody and my dad is not readily available to get that thing, she's done it. You get that kind of a situation. It's very comfortable.
But it's a matter of laziness, that a woman who is financially independent becomes lazy with chores at home. Sincerely.
I mean,
does a woman have to do everything?
Sometimes the woman
it's not even that. It's like,
sometimes she might be tired. Maybe after working a whole day and returning home.
It's not even just that. It's like the definition of laziness for women is different from the definition of laziness for men. Because if a woman just does the same way the average, because even in television, even in movies, series, cartoons, it's always this dynamic. The lazy fat husband, the hot, well put together, sexy wife that's cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
If you watch American Dad, Family Guy, that's the setting.
Yeah, that's always
that's always the setting, even in Disney Channel them. So it's like, it makes no sense that someone will say, okay, I want a maid, but I'm working and I'm doing this. Do you get? And then they're considered lazy. They are not lazy. They are just being practical.
They're just trying to prioritize.
They are trying to prioritize
and save some energy.
Yeah.
It's just different.
That's why women are Nigeria tired and exhausted.
Because
she will be busy from morning till night. And she would return and they will still expect her to come in and arrange everything, cook.
And then there's this other misconception that rich women struggle to find partners.
Rich women, no.
Yes, a woman who is financially
I know why they say that.
Issues with.
It's because a few women who has money are filled with pride. And then men do avoid
I would
them.
say it's kind of true in the sense that no, there are plenty of fish in the sea, but a lot of the fishes are diseased, sick, they have drank black oil. Like, I'm serious.
Yes.
It's true. So when a woman is financially independent, it really refines her choices.
Yeah.
Not just anybody is going to approach her.
Yeah, you're right.
It's only the people that look at her and see that this is something that they want to handle. They're admiring her actual character.
Yeah.
That would come up to her.
Men
so
are
it's like,
afraid to approach people like that.
Yes, exactly.
That's what she's saying.
Those men that are afraid to approach women
They are
like
not
that, they know that they're not up to that.
Yes, they are not.
They know that they're not
They're
up to that standard or up to that challenge. So they step away. So yes, I do feel like women that are financially independent have fewer choices because they know their worth, they know their value, and all the chaff, all the nonsense.
But you know that some of them still feel there are some men who are trying to come in because of the money.
Yeah, of course. Of course, that's a universal. If you have money, whether you're a man or a woman, people that want to use you for your money will always be there.
So they're also trying to be like very careful on their choice. Understand? Because you don't know if this person is coming because of what she's earning or it's coming because of true.
The solution for that one is that if you're a woman and you're making money, date higher than you, date someone that's on anyone that does. Because let me just, the truth about human beings, or especially men, is ego, right? Men don't want to feel like they're less than a woman. That's just it. And me, I personally feel that that's dumb, but you know,
but for the society has drummed it for
society
so long,
has drummed it so long that it's inescapable.
Yeah, you can't.
So if you're someone that's making money and you're doing well for yourself, date above you or date someone on your level, preferably above you.
Yeah.
And it's nothing personal.
The person loves you so much. Below you and
love is not enough. See, true love is not enough to carry a relationship. Love is not enough.
That one is it's a gist for another day. Okay, so there is another misconception, that a woman's income should be secondary to a man's income.
Secondary?
Yes, like, so a woman shouldn't earn more because, what are you doing with the money? Something like that.
I mean, honestly, like I said before, this thing of men and their egos and their pride. Not like I'm for protecting their pride and their ego. It's just that, like, the way it is, the current world we live in, we can raise our children to think differently about these things. We can, but as it is now, if I can be with someone and I'm earning more money than them, and we are both okay, like there's no jealousy, there's no this thing in the situation, that would be okay. But that's so unlikely.
But I think it's just reasoning. Because I came across a post somewhere where a lady was saying that her husband is saying she shouldn't work, but stay at home and he'll be providing the money. He'll be giving her the salary. So every month he gives her the salary. But at some point, he started reducing the money to a point where he stopped giving her the money entirely. And when she asked for the money, he said, "Ma, please don't disturb me. Madam, just don't disturb me." Because the pressure, I'm the one taking care of school fees, the children.
So why did you ask her to stop working?
She said, okay, fine, that she will start working.
Yeah.
The man said, if you dare, that will be the end of this marriage. And she was now asking question, what should I do?
End the marriage now. Dare and let the marriage end.
Children.
Dare and end the marriage. Go and make your money.
This is the thing we are still talking about, that a woman should actually be able to make choices.
If
and you don't have that freedom of a choice. And if everything about you is depending on another person.
And you never know. People can pretend. Someone can be good. Now, he was looking as if it was just a good thing. He wants her to relax.
Yeah.
But now, he has come out to be Satan. He has decided that I will be wicked now. He started as his real self. So, no matter. In fact, it's a red flag if a guy is saying that he wants his babe to be completely dependent on him. You see those people, watch out for them. They're scary AF. Anyways, let's be...
Okay, let me ask this question. How can women build a strong sense of self-worth and confidence?
Well, I would say a way women can build a sense of self-worth and confidence is decentering people and kind of centering yourself. Obviously, being selfless is a good trait, but you also have to know at which points you need to step in. The boundaries you need to set for yourself.
Yeah.
It's you have to take care of yourself and always remind yourself who you are every day. Even if things can be tempting or things can be trying to shake your self-worth, it's you don't realize how much... See, us as human beings, even in the Bible, we are created in the image of God. Image of God. We are smaller versions, but we are powerful.
Yeah.
We have that. And the way you set your mind, the way you can... there's how you can transform your mind. When you transform your mind, everything around you has changed.
Yes, you're right about that.
When you transform your mind, the way you think. So if you're looking for how to improve your self-worth, it's like you have to begin by
In
knowing
your mind.
in your mind, and also the center people, the center men, the center, like, don't ever sit down and be thinking about like, oh, when will I get married, or when will I, don't think about
That
those
should not
things.
even be.
It should never be
Yes.
something that comes to your mind, because you have to remind yourself it's not something that you need. It's not necessary. And you're not even biblically mandated to even do that, if you
And
want to talk about that.
I also feel you should try a new skill, learn a skill,
Yeah.
develop
Yeah, it
yourself.
helps.
Because when you learn a skill, you are sure, at least, even if it's not immediately, at least gradually, the money will keep coming.
Yeah.
With that, you can grow your self-worth. And then nurture supportive relationship.
Yes.
When you see that someone is telling you, before you even start a relationship, there's a way, that talking stage. Sometimes a guy can actually tell you who he is. You can even ask questions, just jokingly. What kind of lady would you like your wife? You can ask him a question like that. A guy can tell you, no, I wouldn't really like a girl to earn more than me. With that, you just have the idea that this is not
you
what
have
to
an
go.
idea, yeah.
So when it's supportive, you know that someone is telling you, even if you have much more than me, I don't care. I even want the best for you. And I would love to support you.
Well, it's not every time.
And also in the terms of that,
talk is cheap,
in the terms of that relationship too, not just dating, supportive relationship, like have friends.
have a support
Have friends that will remind you, like when you cannot remind yourself of your worth. Have supportive friends, not someone that you say, go to your friend like, I feel somehow, like I feel like I look somehow. They'll say, yes, you look somehow. You say, I feel like I look somehow. That friend is like, no, you don't look somehow. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous.
Like some friends that can kill your dream.
Yes.
And the way you can tell your
So
friend,
so we call them support systems. You're not just speaking friends at random. You're being intentional about that particular set of friendship. Then I also think that women should get more knowledge about finances. Understand how finances work, understand how money works, and start building towards it. Know how to save, know how to invest, make little efforts, and so that you can improve your financial well-being, overall financial well-being. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, how does society teach women to prioritize relationships over personal growth?
Well, let's say gender roles. The society kind of think the women are meant to nurture and take care of children and have family, to prioritize family first, even before their well-being.
Yeah.
So with that, a woman would want to do what is expected of them in the society than their own self.
Yeah.
And even family pressure. You see family, this thing called family is what some women, they don't joke with. So what the family wants, needs, is what you do. And sometimes family, they join the society. They tell you.
They're not the first society.
Seriously. There are some families that will actually support you. They support your dream. But some will tell you, listen, when it comes to your husband and children, what do you want to do with work? I thought your husband has enough money. Drop the work. Follow your family first. If you lose that man, you'll not come back to this house. So when they talk something like this, you have to.
I should have to think that there are families like that. Sincerely, it's terrible.
There are people like
tell
that.
you if you lose this person, I even came across. I think a post where a girl said she was abused and she called her mom and dad. They tell her, listen, in this family, they don't divorce. They don't even separate. So whatever you're enduring there, just keep quiet and enjoy it. Third party should not hear about it. So just be there. Don't come back to this house.
God forbid.
So,
I think over time, the way women, like we talked about gender roles, women have been raised a certain way. And so it's even difficult, they talk about prioritizing other things besides their own personal development. So a girl who graduates now is beginning to think about getting married.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily thinking about the fact that she can be the next Okonjo-Iweala. She can, she's not thinking, the Oprah Winfrey, and she's not thinking about that,
Even if it's something that can happen so unaware, like, you don't have to be raised that way. Like, your parents don't have to raise you in that way. It's just growing up in the current climate and society that we live,
just
it's like
conditions
naturally
you.
you're conditioned to just kind of fall in line in that way of thinking.
that
Like,
way of
okay, you know, when I graduate, you when you're planning your life,
so you're already in a relationship.
Yeah,
would end the marriage by the time you're graduating.
You're planning how you're going to, you know, find your husband, find your this, do your this. You're already planning it at an age where you should always see it as something as an addition to yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, if I get married, that would be a very wonderful thing. If I have kids, that would be a very wonderful thing. But it's so set in your mind that getting married and having kids will be the source of your happiness.
Yeah.
It's so ingrained to the point where you
So
kind of
when
can't let
women
go of
don't
it.
get married on the time that they think they should. They become depressed.
Yes, because they think that, and the funny thing is that they will probably even get married and have those kids
and still not be fulfilled.
Still not be fulfilled.
Yeah,
and that must be a very, very damaging place to be. Because if you put it in your mind that, okay, as a woman, these are my goals, this is what I want to, and you're striving your entire life, working, doing this, doing that, you now say, okay, I'll be happy when I have kids. I'll be happy when I get married. And when you now get married and you realize that you're still not fulfilled.
How are you going to be
fulfilled? Happiness will be full when you have that money.
Yeah, not even money.
It's not
just
money.
Like, not money.
That's the fact that you're growing, you're setting goals, you're meeting
them, and also like just having a sense of self.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
you're fulfilling purpose. You know, you're meeting up.
Most
yeah.
ladies don't even think about that. Let's say
a lot of people are not like that.
It's
even in their 300 level, they're already thinking of marriage.
It's not
seriously.
It's conditioning.
If you want to see some of these videos, they said after school, some girls will enter this way. They say marriage, masters. The one that will go into masters angle, be very few, but see the marriage, everybody after school marriage, after school marriage.
I mean, because that's what you're really.
Because
like,
you know,
asking what
you know that marriage is like some sort of measure of success. You know, so
yeah.
You're not married, you're single. How old are you? 35. You know, you're already a failure. Because how did you get to 35 and you did not?
And the worst part is that if you even manage to overcome that mindset, everybody around you will be telling you that, you know, it's wrong. It's not supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
At your big age, you're not married. And it will literally get into your head, even if it wasn't something that would get into your head. If you're surrounded around people or that have this mindset, and it's crazy because people used to say this thing about like, oh, you as a woman, like you grow old, who will take care of you when you're old, who will be with you. It's like you are aware that you can have children and they will literally just leave you. Like, you're not meant to. Children are not an accessory. Children are not something that you have to take care of. If you're looking for company in old age, make friends.
Yeah.
Have people and make friends that are younger than you. Have friends that are younger than you, your age, and just at different ages. So even as you're getting older, you always have someone around you that interests. Like, be an intentional friend if that's your this thing. That's it. It's not a matter like children and a husband are not the cure to loneliness
at all. At all.
Yeah.
So be with children and still be very.
So I'd want to ask, what role does self-care and that personal development play in emotional independence? You know,
self-care.
Prioritizing one's physical, emotional well-being, you know, and mental well-being.
Self-care. When you take care of yourself, it helps because it reduces the anxiety, the stress. Like, when you take care of yourself, this thing called self-care. When you take care of yourself, people will value you. And then you'll just be calm, you'll be relaxed. All this on and off going on, your emotional.
It actually reinforces your own personal self-worth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're intentional, you exercise, you eat well, you eat the right thing just for yourself, not for someone else. You know, most times women are always trying to measure up like, oh, my husband wants me to have a flat tummy. Oh, he wants... No, calm down. They're saying you can actually take care of yourself for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, just it reinforces that self-worth. I'm important. I'm thinking about myself. You know, I'm thinking about my health. I want to look better. I want to feel better. Yes, eventually, yeah, maybe someone would appreciate that you did that, but first, let it be
for
because
yourself.
Yeah, and
you
also
want to take care of yourself for pleasing someone, you'll be exhausted.
yeah,
Seriously. But if you're doing it for yourself, you will enjoy it. But if it's pleasing your husband or outsiders, some of these ladies who go to the gym, maybe to please their husband, they're always too exhausted. And sometimes it might not work out because your mind is not in it. You are tired, you are exhausted. But if you're doing it for yourself, the outcome is totally different from when you're doing it to please someone.
yeah.
I know of someone, there are some guys who would want you to, look. I have a friend once who told me he wants me to have this very small waist and, hips. And from morning I'll wake up and
He wants you as per his word.
yeah.
I want you to have small waist and it's like, is it okay?
Try squatting. And when I do it, the pain. Seriously.
So,
Yeah.
But
And
if it's something I want to do for myself.
Yeah.
Like at some point when I tried it, when I enjoyed it, but when it was because someone said I should have these very small waist and I tried doing it that moment.
that's
It was exhausting. Oh my! I
And
felt
like
giving up.
that question was very specific. Like, how does it protect you from emotional dependence?
Yeah.
There's this song from this cartoon I watched as a kid. Like, honestly, cartoons from my generation, they were balling, like the things they teach you is
So they were
crazy.
balling. Which of the
song,
cartoons is that?
Steven Universe. The
Okay.
song went like this: I don't need you to respect me. I respect me. I don't need you to love me. I love me. Self-care doesn't just have to do with the outer thing. Self-care can be you loving yourself. Now, that emotional dependence, now, imagine depending on someone for love.
For validation.
For validation. When you can, all that, you can make it for yourself.
Yes.
You should never, like I said, like that financial dependency, you should never depend on anyone for anything. You should try your best to be self-sufficient so that anything that comes is just an added. You love yourself. If someone loves you, it's like, oh, that's nice. That's an added this thing. Let it not be that if the person stops loving you now, you feel like a piece of you.
Yeah, because actually they can stop at any time. Yeah, anything can go wrong.
Yeah, it's like
people can actually stop.
Yeah, so you should just be able to,
and then personal development, I think it also fosters growth and confidence, And when you learn new skills, go out, learn new skills, learn how to swim. It may not even be a book skill. It can be maybe swimming, can be cycling, could be anything, It just fosters that confidence in oneself. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. Learn how to bake, for instance, Oh, now I can do this. You're confident, as a woman, yeah. So
in terms of what she said about you depending on someone for love, when people who commit suicide, they fall under that category. Maybe if someone leaves them and they feel this was their love, they can't live in it again.
It's so
Sometimes you hear
dangerous.
some girls say, if you leave me, I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
And boys too.
There are some people that are like that, and it's hard to actually.
Seriously,
it's sad because how did they raise them?
And it's still happening
so
now.
much on.
Like it's still happening. Someone tell you, if you leave me now, I'll just kill myself. Try it. Just try it. And sometimes that's emotional manipulation. And the person might still want to be there, but people still do it. People can just kill themselves and say, she left me after all we've been through together. She left me, or he left me, and so because of that, I could not do this. I had to write down this letter.
That's so mean.
So
yeah, that's so
even
mean. Demonic. Sir,
it's a demonic.
What kind of manipulation?
What kind of letter will you write before you die? It's this person. So that person will not live the rest of their life with the weight of death on their
thinking
shoulders.
that they killed you. That's rubbish. Meanwhile, I also think that over time, I think women have gotten to this place that, just thinking about yourself feels like you're selfish.
Yeah.
If you're married now, for instance, sometimes you want to just stop and take ice cream, and then you remember you have 2 children in the house. And then the ice cream is not even coming down because are you licking ice cream when I thought you are planning to buy it?
I think that's one thing I don't think I can be like me normally. My mom used to tell me, "Mate up, you only care about yourself. Think about yourself first." And that's the thing. One of the things that scares me about being a mom. I'm a very put myself first type of person. So it's like if my children are home and I've had a very long day and I'm licking ice cream, I'll lick that ice cream. I don't have a bloody care. What? I don't care. I really don't. I'll lick that ice cream. If I now have extra, I'll buy that.
No, so I think we might be conditioned to think that just thinking about yourself is selfish.
I mean,
Thinking about
That's what
yourself is
people
selfish.
feel.
So
yeah.
they've learned just over time learned to just think about others. Always prioritize every other person and then put themselves last.
And some of them might decide not to take care of
Put themselves
at
last.
all. Sometimes if you see
Yes.
Christmas period, some women will not make their hair so that they can make the children's hair, but they also just be like that. They won't buy dresses for themselves. They'll still dress anyhow so that at least the children will dress.
Well, if it's children, I can
understand that one, 'cause I
understand
think,
children. Yeah.
Like when you sign up to have kids, you signed up for self-sacrifice. Like, let me say
Yes.
that ice cream one is small. Like we're out and we're just thinking, oh my kids. But if it's something like, should I buy myself a dress or should I buy clothes for my kids? I think that's a very
that's
easy, and it should be like that for both parents,
both
the
parents.
dad, the mom. You should.
No, but it's not like that for some men, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It should be like
It's
that,
not like
even
that
if
for
it
some
is
men.
not like that.
In fact, I know a man who doesn't celebrate the children's birthdays, and and the wife would be like, my husband doesn't even care about this thing. Like, he doesn't even remember. He doesn't even care. It's like, so what is it? So it's the wife that takes it upon herself. So imagine that the woman couldn't afford to. So the children would just...
Those type of people are the same type of people that Valentine's Day will come. They'll say, it's every day. It's every day. Every day. Is it just because of Valentine's? You cannot show love on another day. Those are the type of people.
Oh man, there's this man that has plenty children, and there was a day Akara was passing by, and he said, "Come." He looked. I said, "Bring it for me." He just show 1, 2. This when the man was showing this inside, like this is children. So
all right. So let's go on to the next question.
okay,
Jackson.
what challenges do women face when pursuing independence, and how can they overcome it?
Well, I think a challenge that women face when pursuing independence is just society,
Yeah.
in the sense of just there's how people will look at you and there's how people will make you feel. Obviously, you have a lot of supporters that be like, oh, it's so good as you're trying to. But at the same time, there are the people that kind of, I don't know what else to call it, jealousy of the fact that you're actually making that effort.
Yeah, doing what they are unable to do.
Yeah, doing what they are unable to do, and they will be like, you self, just build this guy or just do like this. And it's like, but that's not something you ever want to be in, because the moment you start that lifestyle, that billing lifestyle, it's very hard to kind of come out of it. You get comfortable in it, and then the energy and that motivation to pursue your own financial dreams kind of reduces. Because you're comfortable, So yeah.
And then of course, once it gets like that, there's that lack of you may get discouraged, if you're not getting the support that you require. Yeah. So women can get discouraged because they're not getting the support, and if you don't have a strong will of your own, you may just discard your pursuit.
Have this self-doubt.
Yeah,
sometimes
doubt.
A woman might think, I might not be able to do this. Might not be able. This uncertainty in them.
Yeah.
They doubt themselves. And the challenge is, almost like we said, it's plenty.
Because you've not been taught over time. So it's like something you're trying to break free of. So you just need to learn, you're feeling in doubt, it's okay. Doubt is normal. What do you need to do? You need to just change your mindset. Have this growth mindset. The mindset that says, okay, even if I fail, I'll learn something from it. Even if I fail at it, I'll learn, so.
Some women, they are scared of taking risk. You understand? They feel, if I fail, the society will laugh at me. Then at least I want to be the body. Instead of you to stay like the other.
You don't even need the society. Even your immediate family members will be laughing at you. But like I said, you just look at it, and I know someone who tried something and then made a few losses. I said, well, you've learned how not to do this thing. Don't stop.
Yeah.
These mistakes have taught you, okay, this is not the way to go. This is the other way. And so why don't stop. Don't get discouraged.
At some point, some women need to pay deaf ears to society and some family members. Because if you fail and they keep saying something negatively, maybe to bring you down, you don't just care. Pay deaf ears. Just keep striving, because if you rise tomorrow, they'll still be the same
I think that's where this
that will
whole
come
support
in.
system comes in, yeah? Because you're going to still need people who can encourage you, who can just hold your
because we are
baby.
social beings at the end of the day.
Yeah, so.
So my last question is, why is it so important for women to have their own goals outside of relationships and family?
Well, to reduce dependence on others.
Yeah.
Because when you make your own money, you won't depend on others for money or financial support. Both family and relationship, because this dependence is not just relationship, even family.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, Dad, please, I need this. Mom, I need this. And when you keep begging, serious, even if those people are giving it
Once
to you,
they see
you'll
your
be
call, they
tired.
will just.
You know, guys, when your call just come in,
And everybody just
it's
so
money.
shy.
It's
And
money.
it's draining.
And seriously.
Begging and asking people for things is draining. I'm someone that I don't like asking people for things. I don't like, because it's scary, it's nerve-wracking, and it's not fun to do.
Yeah, you don't even know if they are going
to say no.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, if you
Yeah.
keep asking, people will see you very differently.
Yeah, of
And
course.
just in order to just avoid that feeling. You know, some people that are very quick, very happy, like they are proud beggars. They carry it on their chest
No,
like
there are people that are like that.
There are people who say they have the gift of begging.
yeah.
You know?
There's people like that,
You
but
can't deny them.
you know, in my personal opinion, and people that are like me, if there's even some people that they struggle to even collect gifts, as per this person, you know, ask them, they're just giving you something.
Yeah.
You know, people like that are more likely to go for independence, and they actually need it, so that they can be comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah. I also think that it also helps some stability in life transition, because, I mean, as you're growing, you know, children can move, you know, children grow up. But if you have goals, so you're not really looking to, oh, my children are gone, what do I do next, you know? But if you had a goal, for instance, you are undergoing your master's, your children living may not really be a big thing like that. Oh, they've gone to school, but I have
so
things
many
I'm
other
doing, you
things
know,
I'm doing.
So I have other things I'm doing. I have a
target,
future
a
in sight.
goal.
Yeah, I have a goal in sight. Yeah, so you don't really. There are people who, once their children leave, or once maybe a
Yeah, it
partner,
feels like
something
your
happens, you know, it
purpose.
just feels as if your life just ended.
you.
You know,
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, maybe a partner leaves or a partner even dies, you know, husband, you know, and it just feels as though life has ended. You know,
Because that's what your life was.
I recently saw, what's her name? I think she's a bishop now. Funke Adejumo, at 60 something. She said she went back to get a law degree.
Okay.
Because she's always wanted to advocate for women, but she doesn't want to advocate from this point of maybe NGO or something, but she wants to do it from the law. Yeah, so she went back to go and get a law degree at 60.
And you know, it can also inspire others.
Yeah.
Because when you're just there, you have people looking up to you, even without your knowledge. So when you grow yourself, you're inspiring others. Like myself, being the eldest, I have people following me, looking up to me.
Yeah.
And then if they see me working hard and then I make it, they know very well, if I work hard, I'll definitely make it.
Yeah.
So when you make your own goals, you're inspiring others. You are helping the next generation without even your notice. There was one guy who said he posted himself bare-bodied with just shorts, and he took the picture, posted it online. And someone here, he didn't even know. He says, I don't know how long I've been looking up to you. I was just so disappointed. So with that, he said, some people might be looking up to you without your knowledge.
Yeah.
Who sent
So-
them? Why did they should look up to their parents? Now people will be picking all kinds of role models on the internet, you know?
When it's like,
Look up to your father and your mother
you
first.
don't even need, that's the thing. You can have a role model, but like, don't like.
Yeah, don't
your all into
everything, you know? So,
There's one this thing they always say: never meet your role models, because when you have a role
You'll
model,
be shocked.
you create a version of them
yeah,
in
in
your
your head. That
You're
may not
seeing
be
them
correct.
this way, and it's not the actual.
Yeah, it's
them.
not. Actually, it's not.
So, and if they change now, you want to change and meet up.
No, you just feel bad. Oh, so this guy is not who he says he is, yeah? Meanwhile, you were the one that
I also
created that
think
image.
it builds self-confidence. And when you make goals, you have money, it builds your self-confidence. You can do anything with confidence. You can speak you can do anything with confidence, but when it's not there, the way you be shivering, the low self-esteem that is attached to it like this, but when you can make goals, you build self-confidence. And
All right, so I'd just like to ask, how can women balance this independence we talk about? How do you balance it? Because there's always that tendency to go overboard, yeah? You know, so a woman has money and they say, oh, she has become proud, or she has become this, or she doesn't stay with her home. There needs to be some balance.
I mean, my own, it's how I balance my own. I'm not independent. I'm dependent, but I also am independent. It's like any opportunity I have to collect, I collect. Like, you see me like this, I'm not going to be sitting down on my high horse unless it's very necessary.
If you need help, you ask.
If I need help, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Daddy, please,
communicate.
I need transport.
Yeah.
Mommy, please give me this. Daddy, mommy, I will never stop saying daddy and mommy until they tell me to stop saying. I will always, there's no need to rush yourself. Like, in the pursuit of independence, don't rush yourself. Don't come and just be like struggling, say, I'm 18, I'm 19, I need to start making my own money. And that, like, you should see that period of time. Take advantage of it in the sense, try and make as much money as you can in that time.
Can make savings.
Yeah, make savings, invest, make as much money as you can in that time. Your food and everything, you have housing and everything.
You're not making any expense at that time, yeah.
That's why, when I see people my age that are not like trying to build something now, it's like you're dulling, like you're really dulling. Yeah. Let's say you start 18 when you're legally allowed to have an account and all those things. You start 18, let's say you use 3 years, 21, you're already working, you've built up a few skills, and you've saved money from, let's say, 19, 20, 21. You've saved some money, you've invested some money, and you have experience. When you're done with university, you can now get a job easily, because you've already been doing all that. And you also have money saved up because you're still living with your parents, asking them for money and stuff. You're not spending your own money on food, housing.
In a case where you don't even have anybody at that age to ask for money from.
People that don't have anybody at that age, they are kind of forced into maturing faster. And like that is very sad because they don't really have that space or opportunity.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is how we can create some balance.
Like if you do have that, if you have that privilege of having people take care of you and still use that opportunity to pave your way to independence. Use the opportunity to grind. That's what I'm doing. Like I'm using my opportunity of leaving my parents and going to school from home to pave my way to not need them in the future.
Yeah.
You get. So let's move.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Then I think you can foster trust and respect. Where you have to balance balance independence with healthy relationship. You can foster trust and respect. In the aspect of relationship, maybe in marriage, they believe if a lady has her own money, she tends to disrespect her husband.
The husband,
Yeah, but if you have a supportive husband, you can tend to foster respect, at least prove the society wrong.
No, I think
that's like, if a woman that will disrespect her husband,
she will disrespect. It's not
about her having money.
The problem is that over time, women have been just taught to be dependent, but now we are trying to say, try and have your own money. But first and foremost, you should have had some character.
Yeah,
you should have had some character before they now give money to you. Because
disrespecting woman poor is a disrespectful woman rich. Yes, so there's some people, they have so much audacity. Their audacity is so big because this babe will call her babe, idiot, stupid, get out of my face. And the next 5 minutes, please give me 50K, I need it for this. And you give her. Like, true, like, a disrespectful woman,
the character is already bad.
Yeah. So there are some women, when they don't have that money, they are kind of very...
Even men,
and obedient. But once the money comes,
I feel like that's just a general human being.
Yeah, it's general human nature.
I don't think it's a gender issue.
But I think that if there's that tendency, of course, there's always small checks. In conscience-wise, there will always be that little check. If you if you behave a certain way, maybe to your husband, for instance, maybe you just talked to him a certain way, there will be that checker. You sounded somehow, and then you know where it came from. It's because small money don't you don't gather small money, and then you just caution yourself. Like we said, we need to just while you've taught women to build their character over time, and now you're handing them some freedom with finances.
Yeah.
So I think that it will actually help their lives. It will better their lives rather than spoil it. And so if a woman who is disrespectful disrespects the husband, they shouldn't say it's because of money that made it.
She always had it in her.
She has always
It's just working.
It just revealed itself. They say money shows who you truly are.
Yes.
Yeah. And then again, before you even get into a long-term relationship, you should have been with that person to actually kind of know. At least, because the truth is that character is like pregnancy. You can't hide it forever.
You can't. No, you can't.
So yeah.
I think with this.
So but lastly, I would want us to just advise younger generations, just on the matter of independence and finances. I want us to just advise them.
Okay, just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Work hard.
Everybody should know that financial independence is actually power,
See how you should attack independence like this.
Don't
do it.
Yes.
Get skills, learn new things,
And if you fail, try.
Keep getting at it.
Keep doing it.
As you're younger, you have time to do a lot of things.
Yeah. Man, I've been doing a lot, so since 14.
Okay.
Before I even got to the point of even finding out what worked for me, I have tried error, done so many businesses, done so many these things. It's just my luck that I've just been that kind of a crafty person.
Good.
And now I figured out what I want to do. I think I figured this out 17, 18.
Good.
The younger you start, the better.
The better, yes.
The younger you start, the better.
All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop your comments. We'll be looking forward to hear from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.